Hello, and video is about advanced exercises following knee replacement surgery. If you haven't seen the previous videos, I encourage you to do so. In the first video I talk about why you might need a knee replacement. I explain what arthritis is. In the second video I talk about prehab exercises, so exercises you can do before surgery. Third video is the immediate post-op period. So that's from day 0 up to 2 weeks after the operation. What I'm going to show you now are more advanced exercises that you could commence 2 weeks plus after surgery. There is a link to these exercises. There's the exercise sheet, it's a two-sided exercise sheet. And I'm just going to go through these exercises for you. So at 2 weeks, if you've got staples in, they should be taken out, or stitches would be removed at this stage, and the wound will be healed over, provided there's been no infection or we haven't had any issues such as a deep vein thrombosis. So assuming everything's gone fine, at this stage you should be able to bend your knee by 90 degrees. You will have climbed up and down a flight of stairs with the physiotherapist after about 3 or 4 days in hospital, and you'll be home at this point. Now in the NHS, usually you don't get post-op physiotherapy. That's not because you don't need it, it's because unfortunately in this country we just don't have enough NHS physiotherapists to provide routine physiotherapy after knee replacement surgery. But it is very important that you do your exercises. They'll give you an exercise sheet and you must do those exercises. And if you can afford it, I would really encourage you to see a private physiotherapist to guide you through the weeks after surgery. It will accelerate your recovery and it will get you back to where you want to be, doing the exercises and doing the activities you want to be doing a lot quicker. So, first exercise is bridging. I'm just going to lie on my plinth here, sheet down there. So, with your legs bent, now you can do this 2 ways. With a pillow between your knee, I've got a ball here, or without. I'll show you without to begin with. So, knees bent as far as you can, and you just lift your hips up as far as you can get them, and back down. And what this is going to do is to work your glutes and your hamstrings. Lift up high as you can and down. As you get stronger, so you should try and do it with just one leg. So you lift the good leg up, so I'm assuming my right leg is the one that's had a knee replacement, and you just lift up on the one leg. Now this will take several weeks before you can do this on the one leg, maybe 6 weeks plus, but when you have enough strength to do it on the one leg, do so. The other way of doing it is with a pillow between your knees, and you squeeze on the pillow as you lift up. Okay? By squeezing on the pillow, it's just going to help the VMO muscles, that's the muscle on the inside of the knee, to work a little bit harder. So that's a bridging exercise, and you do between 5 and 10 repetitions. As you get stronger, so you do more repetitions. Sitting to standing, so sitting in a chair, and basically I'm just going to stand up basically. So don't use your hands, just literally just sit, stand like so. Now the higher the chair is, the easier it is. So at the moment the bed's quite high. I just lower it down. By lowering it down, my knees bend further, I've got a lot further to stand up. Just literally just sit to stand. Again, you can use a ball. Is it gone? If you put a pillow or a ball between the knees like so, and you can just sit to stand, putting pressure on that ball, and that just, again, just emphasizes these muscles on the inside of your knees. The next one is a static contraction with the ball. So with this one, what you're doing is you push your heels down into the floor and then pull the knees together, squeezing against the ball, just trying to get this muscle here working on the inside of the knee, and then release. So you push your heels down and pull in. Hopefully you can see as I squeeze in, that muscle there is having to work. My groin muscles are working as I do that. And as you squeeze in, you hold it for about 10 seconds, nice and tight, and then release. Next exercise is squatting. So we'll go over and use the chair for a bit of support. So you can hold on to a chair or put your hand against the wall, ball between the knees, squeezing on the ball. You just bend the knees about 30 degrees and then back up again while squeezing on the ball. And what you're trying to do is just get the last 30 degrees of extension in your thigh muscles. Just squeezing it out, down and back up. Try and keep it so that your knees are over your toes. So probably need to bring my feet in a little bit more there. So knees are over the toes and back up. So a football between the knees, something like that. A towel or a pillow or something like that. Squeezing down and up. Next exercise is a supported squat. Just move the chair out of the way. So with your back against the wall, a door's best because doors tend to be slidey, so you can slide up and down a lot more easily than on a rough wall. You could also do this with a ball behind your back, a gym ball behind your back. That's another option. So feet out in front of you and just going to slide down and back up, like so. As you get stronger, so you can slide down further. I would never go past 90, so that's 90 degrees, but you can certainly go up to 90 degrees. As you get stronger, so you can put more pressure on the knee, so you can squat without the support of a wall or a gym ball. So I'm just going to do the same exercise but without support, so I'm just going to squat down and back up. Sitting my bottom back like so. Okay. Keep your feet flat on the floor, don't push your knee forwards like so, that's a poor technique. You push your bottom back for a squat. Step ups. Just going to grab the step. So with step ups, foot up on the step, keep your knee over your toes, and you just take the knee forwards, up and down. Don't let the knee twist in or out. If you're at an early stage, you can always support your hand on the wall just for a bit of support. Up and down. And this is the operated leg on the step. Okay, so this is the opposite to how you're taught in a hospital to go up and down the stairs. When you're in hospital, you're told the good leg goes up first when you're going up the stairs, but as an exercise you need to put your operated leg on the step. Okay, it's because you're deliberately trying to exercise that leg. Side step ups. If I just push that forward. So again, if you need to, support yourself on the wall and operated leg up on the step, up and down, like so. As you get stronger at this, although this is going to be a number of months after the operation now, maybe 3 months plus, everyone's different, everyone progresses at a different rate. It depends upon the age of the patient who's had the operation, how much muscle wastage there was pre-surgery, and how much exercise the person is doing after surgery. So it will vary considerably from person to person as to how quickly you're able to do these exercises. But when you are able, the progression for this, I'll swap the legs so you can see it. is basically you just touch and back up. Just touch and back up. So if you imagine there was a grape on the floor, you don't want to squash the grape. So you just lower with enough pressure to touch the grape, but you don't want to squash it. And then the other thing to do with a step is to step forwards. So if my left leg is the operated leg, just stepping forwards and back up. Under control. Don't let the operated leg twist in, so the knee just comes forwards over the toes and back up. You can change the height of the step, so the higher the step is, with all these step up exercises, obviously the more difficult it is. So this step I've got here, I got this from Argos. It's not that expensive, but if I can take the legs off, obviously that's a lot lower now, so it's a lot easier for me to do that. So I'd recommend getting yourself a step to do these exercises with. Your stairs at home obviously are of a fixed height, whereas this you can alter the height. Lunges. So the other exercise are lunges. So if this is my operated leg, right leg's operated leg, and then I just bend down and back up. So the right leg is working down and up. When you do it, keep your knee over your toes. So try not to twist the knee in as you do it. So knee over the toes, down and up. That's quite an advanced exercise. Again, that may be a number of months before you can do that, but if you try and do that as soon as you can, that would be good. Proprioception and balance. Standing on the operated leg, just keeping your balance as much as you can, eyes open. As you get better, eyes closed, and as you get better, standing on a pillow or a mattress, trying to keep your balance. When you walk, don't get rid of your sticks or your crutches too soon. You need to walk without a limp. Now, if you have to use a stick in order to not limp, that's better than getting rid of your stick too soon and then learning to limp. The problem with limping is that you will learn that as a movement pattern and you'll have to unlearn it as a movement pattern. Even when the knee is strong enough to not limp, you'll still limp simply because you've gotten into the habit of limping. So it's better to keep your stick or your crutches and not limp, and then wait until you can walk without them without limping. So I hope you found that useful. Exercises to rehabilitate yourself after knee replacement surgery. Click below for the exercise sheet, and to visit the website, it's newforestphysio.co.uk. Thank you.